So, you're out there trying to buy a laptop or build a PC, and you see all these processor names like Core i3, Core i9, Xeon, Core Ultra, and you have no idea what any of that actually means. Don't worry. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what each Intel processor does, who it's for, and whether you actually need it. Let's get into it. Intel Celeron. All right, let's start from the very bottom. Intel Celeron is basically Intel's weakest processor ever made. It was designed for the most basic tasks you can think of, like typing a document or browsing one web page at a time. You'd mostly find it in super cheap laptops and old office computers from the early 2000s. And honestly, the reason it's so weak is kind of funny. The Celeron wasn't even supposed to exist as its own chip. It was originally Intel's normal processor, but it came out of the factory with defects. Instead of throwing them away, Intel disabled the broken parts and sold them at a lower price under the Celeron name. So yeah, open one browser tab, everything is fine. Open two, the whole thing starts to lag. Intel actually discontinued it in 2023 because at this point, nobody really wants it anymore. Intel Pentium. Right above Celeron, we have Intel Pentium. Think of it as Celeron's slightly smarter older brother. It got discontinued in 2023 as well, but while it was around, it was a tiny bit more powerful and more expensive than Celeron. With a Pentium, you could open a few more browser tabs, run some simple Office apps more smoothly, and even play very light games. We're talking chess or something like the classic Doom. Nothing crazy, but it was a step up. Intel Core i3. Now we're getting into the processors most people actually use. The Core i3 is Intel's entry-level processor. It's cheap, it handles everyday tasks well, and it won't let you down for the basics. It usually comes with 4 to 6 cores, which is enough for browsing the internet, streaming videos, working on documents, or even some light gaming. But if you try to throw something heavy at it, like rendering a video or running a modern AAA game, it'll struggle. You'll notice some lag and stuttering. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. The Core i3 is priced for people who just need a budget-friendly computer that works. And it does that job well. Now, you'll also notice letters at the end of the processor name. Those are called suffixes, and they actually tell you something important about the chip. For example, laptop versions of the i3 often have a U at the end. That means the processor is built to save power. It runs cooler and helps your laptop battery last longer. Great for students or office workers who need their laptop to survive the whole day without plugging in. On desktop, some i3 processors have an F suffix. That means they don't have integrated graphics, so you'll need to plug in a dedicated graphics card. The upside? They're usually a little cheaper. So if you already have a spare GPU sitting around, an F model is a solid budget option. There's also the T suffix, which is for low-power desktop setups. Things like compact office PCs or small form factor builds where keeping heat and electricity usage low is important. Intel Core i5. The Core i5 is the middle ground, and honestly, it's the most popular processor tier for a reason. It's still affordable, but it packs a lot more power than the i3. Core i5 processors usually come with 6 to 14 cores, which makes them comfortable for photo and video editing, programming, gaming, and general multitasking. Here's something important to understand though. A higher tier doesn't always mean it's dramatically stronger, especially when you're comparing across generations. A newer generation i3 can actually perform close to an older generation i5, because Intel improves efficiency and speed with every new generation. So always pay attention to the generation, not just the tier. In terms of suffixes, i5 laptops still use the U suffix for battery-focused models, but they also come with the HS suffix. HS chips are built for gaming laptops, higher performance, but they consume more power and generate more heat. On desktop, you'll sometimes see the K suffix on i5 processors. That means the chip supports overclocking. You can push it to run faster than its factory speed. Just know that overclocking means more heat and more power usage, so you'll need a proper cooling setup, ideally liquid cooling. A regular fan usually won't cut it.
Intel Core 7. The Core i7 is where things start getting seriously powerful. This is the processor for content creators, streamers, and people who run heavy software all at once. With 8 to 20 cores, depending on the model, the i7 can handle a lot. Think about this. With an i5, you can play a game on high settings. With an i7, you can play that same game on high settings while recording it with OBS, having Discord open, and keeping a bunch of Chrome tabs running, all at the same time, without any real slowdown. On the laptop side, i7 processors often come with the HX suffix. HX is like the HS we talked about earlier, but pushed even further. More performance, more heat, and usually found in thick, high-end gaming laptops that have space for bigger cooling systems. On desktop, there's also the KF suffix. That's a processor with overclocking support, but no integrated graphics. Same deal as the F models we mentioned earlier. Cheaper price, but you need a dedicated GPU. One thing worth mentioning, at this tier, AMD Ryzen 7 processors have become serious competition. Ryzen 7 chips often run cooler at similar or lower prices. So if you're shopping at this level, it's worth comparing both brands before deciding. Intel Core i9. The Core i9 is Intel's best and most powerful consumer processor. It's built for professionals, people who do studio-level 3D modeling, heavy 4K video editing, or want to push the absolute highest graphic settings in demanding games. With 16 to 24 cores, the i9 can handle workloads that would bring most other processors to their knees. The suffix system is the same as the i7, HX for high-end laptops, K and KF for desktop overclocking variants. Now, here's the honest truth about gaming with the i9. It's not the go-to choice anymore. AMD's Ryzen 9 processors, especially the models with 3D V-Cache technology, actually outperform the i9 in gaming, often at a lower price and with less power consumption. The 3D cache gives AMD a massive boost, specifically in games without needing more wattage. That said, the i9 is still excellent for professional workloads. It's just that for most people, even hardcore gamers, it's way more than they'll ever need. This chip is really for professionals or enthusiasts who are pushing the limits of their hardware every single day.